Hello, and welcome to Next Week News, which is kind of like today's news if I were to wait 7 days to post this. But I wouldn't do that. That would defeat my whole purpose, so I wouldn't do that. Anyway, here's what's going on next week. We have some wonderful news to report. Starting next week, all sneezes will be blessed automatically. Within just a couple of seconds, it'll be logged and confirmed, and there's a nice little haptic response too. They did a great job with the interface. But anyway, you don't have to say it anymore, okay? Let this be a load off the mind. It is taken care of. You don't have to say it. We have some horrible inflation news from next week. You know, we thought it might have been getting better, but now this is coming out. I can hardly bring myself to read this, because that'll really make it hit home. But they're taking away the free space in bingo. You'll now have to pay a small fee, or risk it by adding an extra square there. I'm sorry, I need a moment.
Wait, Aidan! Where are you going? Are you okay?
Yeah, I just need a second. They're just making everything pay to win now. It sucks.
Do you think you're going to be able to finish the segment?
Yeah, just give me a second. Bingo isn't the only thing being hit by inflation. We're also seeing several instances of shrinkflation taking place next week. Hot dogs are being hit especially hard. You'll soon have to purchase the right and left sides of the buns separately. You can also no longer live, laugh, love. You must now choose one, or maybe two, but only during special promotional periods. There's also going to be less corn per cob, fewer peas per pod. It's all just a mess. What an absolute disaster. A new rule is going to be taking effect next week, which requires employers not only to give employees 15 or 30-minute break periods, but they must also now allow for daily 5-second screen periods. This new procedure will permit workers to step outside during their shift. This will be during your shift, so you won't have to use your break. Rough day, I guess. They're inventing a new way to prepare eggs next week, and as someone who regularly enjoys them, that's pretty exciting for me. But rather than tell you about it, today we're going to show you how to do it. Let's take a trip over to the kitchen. All right, we've got our pan heated up, so let's crack these in there. These start out in a pretty standard way. All right, now that we're pretty much cooked on this side, we can give them a flip. And here's where we have to be gentle. Oh no, are we broken? Those were the last eggs too, weren't they? Oh boy. Well, maybe we can still work with this. And that's about how you want to do it. Here we have scrambled eggs, which is what they're now calling eggs that were meant to be something else, but ended up scrambled. Roughly. They've completely revamped the 5 stages of grief. So starting next week, here's the process that you're going to have to go through. Step 1 is now assigning and accepting the doom rating. On the boom or doom scale, substantial personal loss does typically receive the rare doom rating, and acknowledging this is now the first step following the initial shock. Step 2 is getting the courage to ask a trusted friend if they have the emotional capacity / are in the headspace to discuss something uncomfortable. But apparently that one's just a formality because step 3 is to immediately trauma dump on them anyway, regardless of their answer. Like it or not, that's just a part of the process. Step 4 is now deciding it's time to clutch up. Even in the face of extreme personal hardship, we now ball anyway, and the grind never stops. And thus, step 5 is keeping your trauma like 90% resolved forever. We should mention that the new 5 stages don't actually get you there, but that's just what you have to do now. 90's a pretty good number. A large floating gold star has appeared directly over the top of the Empire State Building. This is happening next week, which is why you probably haven't seen or heard about it yet, but it just appeared there one morning, gleaming and slowly rotating in place. There's no official word on who or what is behind this, nor does anybody seem to know what it does. While officials are actively investigating this, they are also urging the public not to try anything drastic, and there will be zero tolerance for trespassers or anyone who takes illegal measures to try to get to it. Okay, we're in the second half of the video, and the casuals are gone now. I can see the watch time trends. Can I be real for a second? Somebody's got to figure out what happens if you get it. There are two things that I know pretty much for certain. Number one, there have got to be 2 more stars out there somewhere, right? And either we haven't found them yet, or they're less visible and somebody's trying to keep them that way. And number 2, there's got to be something cool that happens if you get it. So you didn't hear this from me, but come on, somebody's got to do it. We have some interesting new guidance from next week, which says that it's no longer recommended to try out any new hobbies. Our sources are reporting that doing things that you're not good at yet sucks. In order for a hobby to be fun, you have to be good at it. But in order to get good at something, you have to first be bad at it. And being bad at something means failing. And failure is embarrassing, because everybody probably notices. And everybody noticing is, bad in some way. For this week, you can still try something new that you've been wanting to do, I guess. But starting next week, they're advising that if something's not easy after like 1 or 2 tries, you should just give up and do your usual thing instead. And if you're not good at your usual thing, you can do something that everybody can be good at, like slowly losing a lot of money. Also, in a similar vein, they finally admitted that destinations are better than journeys. People have always said that life's a journey, not a destination. Okay, have you ever been to a destination? Destinations are pretty sick. Journey or destination? Yeah, I'm picking destination. Give me the destination, thank you very much.